Today I'm going to be talking to you about why we should not be legalizing marijuana. According to CNBC, marijuana is the most commonly abused illegal drug in the United States and around the world. We cannot legalize marijuana because the negative effects it has on our society are very huge. 3 main points that I'm going to be discussing today is 1, that it is a gateway drug and that it can lead to addiction and has negative effects to our body. 2, show people this is wrong and get more people involved. And 3, show how our lives will be affected by this if we do and if we don't legalize marijuana. Marijuana is not only a gateway drug, but it can lead to addiction and it has negative effects on your body. Marijuana is the first drug that people tend to use before that leads to other drugs, and it's just as bad as those other drugs. CNBC stated that 37% of treatment admissions reported in the treatment episode data collected from the state-funded programs were referred through the criminal justice system. Marijuana was identified as the drug of abuse of 57 people who were referred to treatment from the criminal justice system. In 2015, the National Institute on Drug Abuse came up with a graph that showed the percentages of people who use certain drugs before they picked up anything else. This graph right here shows that 65.6% of people use marijuana before they pick up anything else. And then it falls in line with everything else. But as you can see, marijuana is more than half of the chart. The New York Times stated that marijuana use positively correlated with alcohol and cigarette abuse, as well as illegal drugs like cocaine and methamphetamine. Also, they stated that this does not mean that people who use marijuana will use other drugs, but people who do use will consume more, not less, legal and illegal drugs than people who do not use marijuana. From my personal experience in talking to other people like me who have gone through addiction, the first thing that they picked up was marijuana. The first thing I ever picked up was marijuana, and I became a drug addict. And from what I have seen over the last few years, people who are using marijuana are more likely using more than just marijuana. They're drinking, they're using pills, or cocaine or methamphetamines. Marijuana also has a negative effect on your body. According to the National Institute on Drug Abuse, marijuana smoke irritates the lungs, and people who smoke marijuana can have the same breathing problems as people who smoke cigarettes. Healthline also says that it can lead to lung cancer. And here's a picture of a set of lungs. The left is tobacco and the right is marijuana. And according to the American Lung Association, marijuana deposits 4 times more tar into the lungs than tobacco does. The CDC also said that previous research has found a significant increase in the risk of heart attack in hours following using marijuana. Now that I have talked about how harmful tobacco can be, here's a plan of action that can get us in the right direction. We need to prove that this is wrong and get people involved. This plan of action to get more people involved and to prevent these things from happening, Kevin Sabet, co-founder of SAM, says his biggest concern with legalizing of Colorado and Washington so far is the rise of fairly large industries whose only objective is to increase their profit. He goes on to explain that alcohol and tobacco companies don't make money off of people who just use every now and then. They make their profit off of people who are daily users. Here is a chart of the top companies in the United States, like Dasani, DiGiorno, Girl Scout Cookies, Oreo, Blue Bell, Pringles, Blue Diamond, Wheat Thins, and Twizzlers, and marijuana is at the top. Marijuana, as of 2015, sold over 2.5 billion more in sales than the top leading, like Dasani and DiGiorno. There's something wrong with that. To get people involved, we should make flyers, share what I've shared with you, statistics, talk to people who have been in the position I am and how their lives have been affected by marijuana, get them to talk about their experiences and rallies, and get a hold of congressmen and see what the next step is, getting a bill passed saying that this is wrong, things like that. Now that I've stated a solution how it's wrong, I'm going to talk about the lives that will be affected. Once the plan of action is implemented, future problems can be avoided and present ones can start to change. There's more negative effects to our society than there are positives, and we want to prevent them. USA Today stated that since legalized marijuana, Colorado has increased in marijuana-related traffic deaths, poison control calls, and visits to the ER. The marijuana black market in Colorado has increased, not decreased. To go along with the traffic deaths, here's from 2006 to 2016, Colorado's death. As you can see, it rose from 2006 to 2012, and then it fell when they legalized it in 2013, and then from then on, it's just increased from all the other times. We can't have that in the United States. We need to prevent those things from happening. These are lives that are at stake here, and we need to prevent them from happening. They also say that Washington Post reported a study by the Review of Economic Studies and found that college students with access to recreational cannabis on average earned worse grades and failed classes at a higher rate. This is our future, and we need to make things better, not worse. These are problems that we can prevent. Changing the present problems by getting people involved and showing that it's not okay will get more people informed, and it could change their whole outlook on marijuana altogether. Sharing what I have with you will help people see what's really going on, and that it's not just weed as some people think that it is. Now you can see there's more to legalizing marijuana and the effects that come with it. Let's review what we've talked about. 1, marijuana is a gateway drug, and it can lead to addiction, and it's harmful to your body. 2, plan of action is to get more people involved and show that it's not okay. And 3, show how these lives can be affected before and after. Now, let's get involved, get the information out there, be that change today, and show that it's not okay, and prevent bigger problems from happening than what they could be.